given of him shall be much required. In other words, honey, you may be going through hell tonight. You may be feeling like they beat you down. You may feel like throwing in the towel. You may feel like it's almost over. You may feel like committing suicide. But baby, let me tell you something. It is a confirmation from God that who much is given, much is required. My God, I'm telling you, honey, you need to rejoice right there and put a praise down. You need to put a praise down right there. Because the devil is not fighting empty vessels. He doesn't want anybody who's not carrying something. But if you're not carrying something, he's not after you. He's after the one who has something in their bellies. Come on, y'all. My God, my God. So if all hell is breaking through right now on you, baby, guess what? That's your indignation. You're just about ready to burst open. Baby, your water has already broken. You already at 8 centimeters. But by the time we leave here tonight, you gonna deliver this baby full term. You hear what I say? You gonna birth this thing out full term. My God. Jesus. Into whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Amen. That is Luke 12:48. And I'm going to close this because I want you all may be seated for a minute. I want to tell you something. There is a cost for the oil. I'm going to flow in just a minute, but I just want to set this thing up. You know, last night I talked about transparency produces transformation. And see, what's wrong in the church today, ain't nobody ever did nothing. Ain't none of us ever fell and had some sex. I know some children here, so I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be good, I promise, Daddy. But you know what? This is why the younger generation can't get with us. Because they look at us and we so dignified, and we so holy, and we ain't never did nothing. We ain't never went to the club. We ain't never had no E&J. Come on, somebody. Some MD 2020. Come on, somebody. Some weed. Come on, y'all all sanctified now. You wasn't always saved, baby. Come on, somebody. So I'm just going to deliver my own testimony tonight. Because I want you to know, honey, all the hell I've been through, God had to bless me. And when I was a mess in the world, I'm a mess for the Lord. You hear what I say? Baby, I'm dangerous for the kingdom. I ain't worried about the devil. Because see, when I was out there in the club, baby, pushing it up, I didn't worry about what man said about me. So guess what, boo-boo? I'm still not worried about me. Because man can't take me to hell, but I can take myself. Come on, somebody. So I'm just going to testify. Overseer, is that all right with you? Baby, let me tell you something. My whole life has been a struggle. From the time my mother was pregnant with me, she almost lost me several times. Come on, somebody. By the time I hit 4 years old, I almost died. Doctors didn't understand what was wrong. My heart was all out of rhythm. I couldn't play with my siblings. Come on, somebody. Jesus, I got pale, fell out. My heart was racing. They didn't understand it. My mother started taking me to doctors. They took me to a specialist. Specialist said she has a heart condition. Later on, jump forward here, 4 years old. They found out I was iron deficient anemic. So then that threw off everything in my body. My whole metabolism was off. And it threw my heart rate off. Baby, they started treating me with some iron. But before they did that, I remember my mother said, and my aunt, let's take her to Mother Callahan. See, it was something back then because we didn't have to run to doctors. We had some praying mothers in the hood. Come on, somebody. Honey, you take them to Mother so-and-so, and Mother so-and-so gonna get a deliverance, and she gonna get a prayer through. Somebody gonna help me.
That's right, that's right.
Baby, wait a minute. So my aunt took me there, and I'm going into the house, and Mother say, bring her in real quick. And they looking crazy, like, well, how Mother already know what's going on? Honey, because of the Holy Spirit had revealed it. It was my appointed time. Y'all don't understand what I'm trying to tell y'all. Honey, when they took me in there, Mother laid me on the couch. Mother came over and she began to pray a spiritual transfusion from the throne room. Baby, the blood started rushing back in my body. Y'all ain't telling me I was a 4-year-old child. Baby, I was laying up there, and this is when I did my first sermonette, and I began to prophesy that there's power in the blood. Honey, the devil was mad then, and he can't stand me now, but oh well, that was then, this is now, and I'm still going to do the works of the Lord. So after 4 years old, I didn't have much trouble. Then when I hit 10 years old, I'm just going to skip to this, when the devil tried to take me out, if that's all right. That's all right with y'all. Because we going somewhere tonight. I'm helping somebody up in here. So at 10 years old, I was in the car with my brother, who was the third oldest. And he lost his hearing to scarlet fever. So he was deaf. So when he get upset, he would turn off his hearing aid and you had to sign to him. So he came down for my baby brother's birthday. And on his way back up, we drove with him. And he was driving on 17 going to Avon Park. And he went and put us out at Avon Park. He was supposed to go home, but he didn't go home. He was acting very peculiar, very strange that night. He was crying and he didn't want to leave without saying something to my brother. And my daddy said, well, wait a minute, Emery. He said, you can see him in the morning. Tomorrow is his birthday. We didn't understand it then. 2 hours later, we had gotten home. And I couldn't sleep. My spirit was in overdrive. I was crying, and I can sense in the spirit something was wrong. Because before my brother drove off, he saluted us in sign language, means so long. I'm not going to see you anymore. And I began to cry and run behind the car. But I tell you all of this because I could have died in that car. Because the same path he took that he died on was the path he had me and my sister in the car. But God shielded me for such a time as this. Come on, somebody. When I was 12 years old, I remember a woman coming to my mother's house. And she began to tell my mother that people are lying on her. She's not dead. She's not going with her husband and all this crazy stuff. And I remember sitting in the sunken den in our second living room. And I was eavesdropping with my little nose and stuff. And I was looking up there before my mama caught me, and I began to cry because I can feel the pain in my mother's heart. I was sensing everything she was feeling overseas. You hear me? And I began to cry like I just couldn't control it. And I told God, I said, God, I make a vow to you. I say, God, I would never go with anybody's husband. Because when I get mine, I don't want nobody with mine. But watch how the devil tried to trick me for real. When I was 14 years old, my father left the house for a business trip. And I was supposed to get in the car with him, but he left me. My father died and got killed by a drunk driver.
Help her, Lord.
Y'all bear with me tonight.
Help her, Jesus.
A few months later, my nephew got killed by a car. My cousin, I'm sorry, I always say my nephew. My cousin got killed by a car. His name was Jabbar. See, y'all don't understand because 14 was very serious for me. I thought that was all the devil had for me, but I started running with the wrong crowd. I started looking for love in all the wrong places. And I became pregnant at 14. Y'all gonna get help today, you hear me? I became pregnant at 14, and I had a miscarriage. 14 years old. Didn't know nothing of it. When I was 15, y'all notice this 3 deaths now. When I was 15, my grandmother died, who held me up in all my wrong. My father's mother, because I did no wrong in her sight, just like my father. Then my uncle died a few months later at 15. Chose the wrong boyfriend yet again. Didn't have no business with a boyfriend. Pregnant again at 15. Had another miscarriage. 2 miscarriages, y'all. When I was 16, pregnant again. Had another miscarriage. Then I went to the health department for a checkup. When I went to the health department for a checkup, my mother was in the nursing field, so we knew the director of the health department, and she called my mother's house within 24 hours after I did a pap smear. And she said on the phone, she says, is Azadine there? I told her, I said, my mom's not home. And she told me, she says, I need to talk to her. I said, well, this is Rosemary. Can you talk to me? Because I knew something was wrong, y'all. I felt that thing, okay? And I remember the nurse began to tell me, she said, baby, I can't tell you. I need to tell your mama. I said, well, it's because it's something to do with me and I need to know what's going on. This woman told me, y'all, she said, your pap smear came back, my God, and you have cervical cancer. I remember throwing the phone down and screaming and crying and telling God, I said, God, I've been through so much. Because there's a cost for this oil. Y'all don't understand. You don't just get this like a microwave. You don't just get it when somebody lay hands on you. Come on, somebody. There's a cost. Oh, God, you're going to go through hell and high water. My God, help me, Jesus. Oh, glory. Hallelujah, Jesus. I remember throwing the phone down. And I was crying. I said, oh, God, I'm going to die. God, I'm going to die. I said, Lord, if I'm going to die now, why didn't you just let me die when I was 4 years old? Jesus. And the Lord began to speak to me. And he said, where is your faith? Baby, talking about somebody got delivered real quick. I went and grabbed that oil, and I began to pour it at the mole of my head. And the oil just dripped down my head, all in my face. And the Lord told me, he says, now when you go back to get the test results, he says, I'm going to prove to you that I'm still your healer. He said, if I didn't let the devil take you out then, he sure can't have you now. So I went back for 2 biopsies. Both of the biopsies, they kept trying to tell me the first time they saw cancer. They went back the second time for a biopsy, no cancer. We went up into the specialist room, and I'll never forget my mother was there and I was there. Baby, I started speaking in tongues, acting like a crazy person. Because when I got up in there, that man said they couldn't find nothing. It came back clean. Honey, I began to praise God right in the midst of the office. Right in the midst of the office. You hear what I say? Because I say, God, you did it yet again. You did it again, God. 16 years old, 3 pregnancies, 3 miscarriages. When I was 17, 4th pregnancy, 4th miscarriage. Honor roll student, college courses, promising career. But people, they would see me dressed up. And I used to be killing it, y'all, because I knew I was looking good, looking cute, child. You couldn't tell me, honey, I had Louis Vuitton backpacks and clutches. Come on, somebody, the heels. Honey, I used to be sharp as a tick. But they didn't understand, as beautiful as I was broken. I was broken. I was in need of something. I was searching for something. But people were looking on my outer appearance, but they didn't understand that on the inside I was dying. They didn't understand on the inside I had mind battles. My God, help me, Jesus. See, because at 10 years old when my brother died, I lost my mother. She was physically here, but she mentally checked out on me. So when my father died at 14, I was parentless because my mother was there, but mentally she was not there. 18 was a little bit better. But throughout all of this, all the way up until I was 18, I got into the wrong relationships. I was physically abused. I was mentally abused. Come on, somebody. My self-esteem was torn down. And I had to start to get to the point where I loved myself. Now, believe me, I was hard. I wasn't no fool now. See, now, let me tell you now. I was beat, I was abused, and I was misused. But I had to ran one of them Negroes over, cut one of them up with their own machete. Come on, somebody. Kick some fenders in and slit some tires. Y'all better come on. I was a rough G. See, I wasn't just taking this thing laying down. And I tried to take one of them out with a meat cleaver. Y'all better come on and go with me somewhere. I'm being real. I'm being real. I'm trying to help somebody tonight. Because, see, people don't understand God can still use you. As a matter of fact, we are the people God is looking for to use. Somebody who has walked through hell and came out without the smell of smoke. Come on, somebody. My God. So here I am, 19 years old. All of a sudden, I meet this young man. Just knew he was going to be, I couldn't stand him at first. I should have followed my first instinct, woman of God. This Negro was something else. Little slick-headed Indian, honey, listen. He was like, I ain't even going to give him no props. But anyway, thank God for deliverance. Met him at 19. He was a perfect gentleman, spoiled me, bought me anything I wanted, bought me a car and everything. See, I'm telling you, honey, they know how to hook you. They know them bright mind games to tell you about. Y'all better get with this thing. This thing is good. I'm helping somebody. Y'all young women better take some notes, honey. Y'all better take some notes and start looking for these signs. So, honey, I'm sitting up there with him from January 89. We were together. About 6 months into the relationship, I became pregnant. Had another miscarriage. 5th miscarriage. We were still together. We were engaged. Moved forward to 90. We were closing on the house. November of 90, I went to the pawn shop to find a gun because I used to fight all the time. And I got tired of breaking my nails and damaging my jewelry and stuff because I had a lot of gold. So obviously I went to the pawn shop and I was looking for that nice 357 Magnum, and I wanted the pearl handle and I wanted to engrave my name on it. Because I said, I'm just going to ride by and pop a cap. I'm sick and tired of fighting. I'm not fighting no more. I'm just popping caps now. But baby, the Lord had a plan and a purpose for my life. Honey, he processed me through the pain to produce my purpose. You hear what I say? Processed through the pain to produce my purpose. See, some of you are going through right now, and some things you're going through you can't even tell nobody about because you're keeping it hidden. But there's a process for the pain because it shall produce the purpose that God has on your life. Honey, I was walking around. I met my husband because I knew his sisters first, and he had come from Trinidad to Brooklyn, New York, and he came down with his family. And I was pregnant. He didn't know I was pregnant because I was still keeping myself up trying to look cute. I was pregnant in 91 with my oldest daughter by now. And I'm sitting in McDonald's trying to eat, and his sister comes up, and she was a manager there. And my sister said, "Ooh, girl, listen, child, tell her to introduce him." I said, "I'm not studying that man. Child, I'm trying to eat my food. You go over there and talk to her." So anyway, we met that day. So I'm up here, 91. When I got 4.5 months old, mother, when I tell you, all hell broke loose. I called this man's house. Help me, Holy Ghost. I called this man's house and a woman answers the phone with a thick Jamaican accent. I'm thinking it's his mother, and this woman says, because his mom had a thick accent too. This woman tells me, she said, "I'm his wife." I said, "Boop, what? You his who?" "I'm his wife." I said, "Hold up, wait a minute, honey, pump some brakes. Let's talk about this thing." I said, "Where that Negro at?" All I heard was a phone say, "Fighting, honey, fighting." I heard the click of a gun. I said, "Oh, time for me to go." I said, "Because if he come down here, I'm finna take this sucker out." My mama said, "What is wrong?" I found that then. So here I am, 5 miscarriages, trusted a man again, and I'm pregnant, I'm engaged, we closed it on a house. Come on, somebody. And this Negro married. Come on, not the first wife, but the second wife. And come to find out, the wife was over here. She got over here in August of 90, I think. And I ended up pregnant January of 91. And all the time, what if the woman would have snuck about the house? I used to be all up there. Somebody would have been in casket shop. And it wasn't going to be me back then. Praise be the Lord. I'm keeping it real. Because I was crazy. So honey, all of this. And all of a sudden, he come running to the house. I had to run him over with his car. I jumped on him a few times. But I tell you all of this to tell you this. The Lord sent my husband Herbie because there was a purpose. I went through all of this hell. So I want to tell some women, honey, if you've been beaten, if you've been battered, mentally, physically abused, if you've gone through miscarriages, come on somebody. Because, you know, the doctors told my mother I would never have any children. Baby, we have 4 children. And our 3rd pregnancy were twins. Come on somebody. You know, they diagnosed me with an incompetent cervix, but they have a stitch they call the cerclage. So honey, I carried every last one of them to full term. But the twins were 6 weeks and 3 days early. Amen. Honey, my oldest girl was 8 pounds. My oldest boy was 9 pounds. He looked like he was 12. We nicknamed him Boston. He's still boss. So we have a 25-year-old, a 23-year-old, and 20-year-old sons, or twins that are sons and daughters. So I say all of this to say that God can still use you. It does not matter where you have come from. It does not matter how bad your life has been. Honey, I've ran from 12-gauge shotguns. Come on. I've been involved with drug dealers that were crazy. Come on, somebody. Honey, I remember the cops pulling the car over and I didn't even know what guy was carrying. Had a big old package, Ziploc bag. And I said, boy, if these people catch you, we was in Georgia. Don't you know that's trafficking? That's trafficking. Y'all know, cross state line. We were going down. Boy, I started talking so fast, my mama said, you should be a lawyer. Woman of God, I started talking. I said, wait a minute, hold up, Jesus, hold up. I said, Nick, what you got? What? Oh, you finna die tonight. I said, if these people take me to jail in Georgia, I'm finna beat you down like you stole something. Honey, he come taking the stuff out, shaking, talking about, oh, what am I do? We didn't even know he got in the car. But y'all see how easy that is. I could have been gone. Jail time. Come on, somebody. but God still spared me. Crazy and foolish, but God still spared me. Because he had a purpose for my life. See, I didn't understand all the hell I was going through, but God understood what I was going through. All of this time, overseer, you know, the family talked about it. They was all in on it now. But when the wife popped up, everybody, Rosemary this and Rosemary that. Yeah, I was the woman calling the adultery. You know how they took the woman, but where was the man? Come on, the Bible tells us about they wanted to stone the woman. They went and found the woman and took her to Jesus. But where was this Negro at? Where was the man? Y'all ain't bring the man. Where is he at? He had a part in this. So all of these years, our daughter's about to be 26 years old in October. And all of this time, you know what I started doing? Instead of getting bitter, I got better. I began to pray for him and the wife. I began to pray for the whole family. And you know what? Both of them in the church now. Because the word of God tells me that the prayers of the righteous avail as much. See, instead of me getting upset, I prayed my way through. Honey, I was broken. I was torn from the floor up. Didn't know which way I was going, left or right, but I battled through it. And the Lord told me, he said, if you will just suffer for righteousness' sake, he says, I'm going to raise you up. I'm going to raise you up. And you see what happened? Look at me now. You look at me, and you see the glory on my life, baby, but you don't know my story. I tell people. I say, honey, they come out, ooh, woman of God, I went down, baby, you don't want to be me. The process is not easy. Process is not easy, honey. You're going to walk through the flames of hell. They look at you overseas and say the same thing. But baby, they don't understand the sleepless nights. Come on, somebody. They don't understand the tormenting demons that come at you. Come on, somebody. They don't understand trying to lay down, and all of a sudden, all you can do is cry out and intercede for others. Y'all don't understand there's a price. Don't take your leaders for granted, baby. Because let me tell you something, they're carrying this ministry. They're carrying each and every one of you. And when you have leaders like this, baby, let me tell you, you don't even have to tell them, because when they're praying, the Holy Spirit is going to reveal it. The Holy Spirit is going to reveal it. Man of God, I'm so glad to see you, Eli. We prayed for you last night. How you feeling? You good, ain't you? Look at God. Look at God. Look at God. Look at the man. Don't the man of God look good? Jesus look good on him, don't he? My. I was so hoping you were going to be here last night so we could knock you out too. I said, Lord, I just want Eli. Oh, she said, he in the hospital. I said, Lord, I was hoping you just hit that floor. You know, I like to mess with you. But I hope that my testimony, I wanted to hit the bullet points, just the highlights of how bad things can get. I pray that my testimony has blessed somebody in here tonight. Because, baby, it doesn't matter how you fall down. All that matters is that you get back up. You don't stay there. You don't wallow there. Come on, somebody. Oh, Jesus. You don't have to stay there. I'm telling you. Don't let people beat you down with your past. They always want to think about, girl, I remember when we were clubbing. Honey, we were so good, we had us a dance group, y'all. Come on, somebody up in here. Called the Ebony Girls. Honey, you couldn't tell us we wasn't salt and pepper. Honey, we would shut the beachfront down after we don't open it up. Leave there and go to the Pump Palace, my God. Be in Fort Myers, me and my cousin Tashana, what we call her Sean. Honey, we used to be riding now, I see y'all back there. And she went today and told my sister kids about me and your auntie was about to say, tell her own testimony. Let me do mine. Don't be trying to get all up in grown folks' business. But you know what people do? They really need to know that we are not perfect. We understand a lot of the things that the younger people are going through because we've been young ourselves. We've had some of the same battles, the same attacks, the same struggles. Honey, we're not perfect. We don't have it all together. We struggle every day. But that's why we got to stand in place with God. And the Lord told me, he says, you know what? He says, you can't be one of those Christians that just pray sometimes. All the time. Pray without ceasing. Ain't that what the word says? You can't play with it. He told me, he said, you know how some people go on a consecration? He said, you got to live on a consecration. I said, my God. I said, that thing hurt me, but I got 3 Facebook pages. Come on, somebody. But I told God, I said, God, I'm going to obey you. I'm going to obey you. And you know what? I got to start shutting some stuff down. Amen. I got to obey God. Because there are hurting people in this hour that need a word from God. They don't need another regurgitated message. They don't need nobody to go on Google and Google a message. Come on, somebody. Baby, we need to have a word from the throne room. We need a right now word. We need a word that's going to move up. We need a word that's going to deal with our situations. We don't need nobody playing with us. We don't need nobody lying to us. Come on, somebody. We need a word that's going to destroy yokes. We don't want them broke. Anything broke can be mended. Baby, we want it to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
I hope this bless y'all. Let me see the hands up if it bless you.
Amen.
I better see y'all 2 hands like that. I better see both of them hands. Like T-Pain say, hands went up and stay there. Leave that alone, Latanya. Leave that alone.
No,
Leave
man.
that alone.
No.
Leave that alone. I ain't trying to say it. I ain't trying to say it. Can I pray for you? Oh, don't look like you. Yeah, you. Come on. Her. Let me get her first. I'm gonna get you too. Yeah, But I want you, honey. Yeah, the red shirt. Red shirt. Come on.
Which one?
Yeah, Bookie. How you doing? You hugged me early and I like to went up then. I said I'm gonna wait, y'all. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, you gonna give me a sweet? Y'all hold on to that. I need to pray for you. Roll the sleeves back. I don't want to put it over. I see some things going on with you. I hear God say rededication. You've been going through things in your body. You ain't said nothing about it. The enemy been trying to come against your mind. Am I talking to you? You were back there praising God and worshiping God. And the Lord told me, he said, you got to get to her. If nobody else in here don't get prayer tonight.
Amen.
He said, if you don't speak a word over nobody else, you got to get to her because it's a 911. It's an urgency. Oh, you said, quick, I caught that. What I tell you? The Lord says, it's a 911 to get to you. He said, she don't move past the hunger. You desperate. You desperate for God to move because you don't say it to yourself, God, if you don't help me, I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I talking to you? But you know what? God is getting ready to meet you at the point of your needs right now. Because there's more than one thing that you're dealing with right now. I see weights. I see weights. Like they weigh concrete, like center blocks. I see like center blocks. You've been having a lot of pressure on you. A lot of pressure. And you know what? It's caused some issues in your body. Yes, it's caused some issues in your body. But not only that, the enemy trying to tell you you're going to die. My God. Am I talking to you? Come on now. But the Lord told me to tell you, don't worry about it. Amen. He said he got this.
Amen.
He said all you need to do is get in him. Live in him. Breathe in him. Move in him. Because I'm telling you right now, the enemy literally wants to take you out. And it's an assignment of a witch. I'm going to tell you it's witchcraft.
My God.
Baby, ain't nothing wrong with you. The Negro done through some witchcraft. It's about a man. Am I talking to you?
My God, my God.
Because they want your man, baby. They said we can get hard the way we can get this man. But I'm going to tell you right now, if I be a prophet of God, I reverse the curse right now in the name of Jesus. I send every spell, every hoodoo, every voodoo back to the sender right now, and she gonna reap it. Baby, you will not be cast short. My God. My God. Honey, I'm telling you, I'm seeing some stuff. I'm seeing some stuff. My God. Come on around, baby. My. I got to take intermission on her coming back to her because I ain't finished. Ooh, I still got oil on my hand. Throw your hand up, baby. How you doing? You doing all right? Thank you, Jesus.
Amen.
I see you sitting right there.
Jesus.
And the Lord told me to tell her it's already done.
Amen.
My. See, I'm telling you, it can be a word. God already know. Honey, I'm just speaking for God. He said it's already done. He said you ain't got to worry another day. You hear what I say?
Okay.
Baby, I even see your address changing. You hear what I say? God getting ready to bless you, baby. God is getting ready to bless you. He getting ready to bless you, honey. I'm telling you.